Welcome to the city of Waterside. Now, this part is going to be a little bit of a voyage into the unknown because the whole focus of this part, if you watch a previous part, I damaged the city in order to unlock some distinct buildings, and but this is going to be the focus of this part, is to unlock three other buildings which have negative effects on the city. The first one is probably going to be the easiest one to get, is the observatory. We need to get 1,000 abandoned buildings, and then there's another one here which is going to be the key things, is we got to get the average citizen health under 20%, and the other one is 2,000 abandoned buildings, which means we've got to seriously damage the city. Now, I did a kind of pilot attempt with an idea that I had, which was kind of turning all the health down and turning off the sewage to make people unhealthy that way. And basically what happened was the city started to implode, but the actual health didn't drop because people were leaving faster than the actual level of health. So I actually went out on the forums and I've had a look round, and there's somebody come up with a suggestion about contaminating the water supply. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to move these guys over here, and I think that's enough. And what we're going to do is connect up so it's going to take a little bit of preparation. I need to check the power, because obviously with this here I've altered the power distribution, so I'm just going to do that. And what I'm going to do now is put a sewage outfall there, and what we're going to do is just unpause the game and let it run. Let it run at fairly high speed. I'm not going to manage the city, and I'm not also going to reduce the budget to start with. So you can see the pollution starting to come in here. So the idea is to keep people healthy so that they want to stay and keep the services high because they want to stay in the city, but at the same time let them start to get sick so the system starts to become overloaded. That's the idea. Just going to check the budget. Yeah, the health budget. Maybe we'll reduce it a smidge so it's maybe not quite as effective. But I'm not going to disable the buildings, because if you start switching the buildings off, what actually happens is the land value drops because you've lost the service, and that actually starts the population to collapse. So at the moment I actually need to find the one, I think it's this one, isn't it? Lazarus Pass. So at the moment we have 60% average health, but you can see it's now starting to drop a bit. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this. Actually, let's healthcare availability. I think that will help. See if I can find it. Well, that's just healthcare availability. So what we're going to have to do is, so we're down to 52% already. I'm going to be a bit tense, guys, because if the whole city crashes and burns, I will just reload. I'll be honest about it. I'm not going to pretend that I'm actually just... Sorry, I can't resist the temptation, guys, so just put a bit more commercial in there, and maybe a bit more industrial. In the last part, the quick part I did here, we built up this industrial area here. We put in the first airport, and I'm not quite happy. You can see the abandoned buildings over there, which are going to help towards the thing. So we'll just have a quick look here. So we got the first airport here. I put in this pretty horrible high interest tower, and I kind of turned this into a touristy area. So that the high rise, I can't think of anywhere I can put this thing where it's actually going to look pleasant. So let's just have a quick check. You can see now the population's starting to fall a bit. We're down to 51%. I think so. At the moment, it's just a question of being patient. So letting things grow through the environment. So we actually got a little bit of high density up here, low density here, so we might as well make this area of the city pretty uniform. I must admit, I don't like this having to have the square edges on the city, but so you can see here that people are starting to become sick. So we were down to 52%. I think it's a question of patience. You don't want to push this. Let's have a look at, see if I can find the observatory. We've still only got 25% 25 abandoned buildings in the city, which is a little bit disappointing. But I think if I can get the sickness going, I think what happens is it will start to develop start emptying that off while we're looking at it. So it most likely will take time. So you can see it's now starting to spread. So what I'm actually going to do, guys, is I'm going to stop now, and I kind of come back with regular updates because I've got a feeling this is going to take quite a lot of time to take effect. So just one quick check before we go. So where is it? We're down to 50% at the moment with 19 abandoned buildings. So the number of abandoned buildings is going down instead of up. Oh well, never mind, guys. So just going to leave it there, and I will come back with an update in a little while. Right, guys, I'm back for a quick update. What I've actually had to do is, let's switch that back on, is I've actually had to switch off one of the sewage treatment plants because of the overcapacity. So people weren't getting sick quick enough because the city's growing, and you can see the population's falling a little bit. So what I'm hoping to do, and you can see people are starting to die. Oops, a daisy, didn't mean to do that. And you can see that it's getting a bit more harder to drive down the population, and at the moment we've got no abandoned buildings. So it's dropped by a fair amount of pollution, but as I say, you can see the population is dropping as well. So I think that's part of the problem, in the sense that the population drops as fast as the people get sick. So, but you can see that it's spreading now quite badly, and we're down to 40%. But it's getting a little bit tense. So, and you can see now I've reduced the sewage treatment down a little bit. Maybe if it's actually, the contaminated water's having the desired effect. You can see we're still stable at 30% because there's more people leaving than, and so we've still got a demand for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zone in this whole area here for these bits on the roundabout, because I don't want the roundabouts to be zoned in. I'm just going to zone across all of this whole area here. Just to keep the demand up, and what we're just going to do it is a little bit of aesthetics on here. Just to keep the people moving in, so the population is still growing in proportion to the number of people getting sick. See now, still around 40%. Probably because it's odd that people are still moving in even though the city's shrinking. And there's quite a lot of people here. Maybe I'll try and reduce the health budget down again. Maybe drop it down to so there's less coverage. See if we can accelerate the process. Got no idea how long this is going to take. So what I'm going to do now is cut out again now. Just let the city run. Welcome back. What I've done is I've tried to push it because the population is falling faster than people are getting sick. So what I've done is I've actually turned off a couple of hospitals in this area, and you can see the disease is now spreading. But at the same time, the number of people leaving the city is falling as well. So it's going to be a close run thing. So right, we're now here for 3 weeks. And quite perversely, I haven't actually had that many abandoned buildings. I think if I go to here, we've only got 54 abandoned buildings, which is quite amazing, to be honest. Just gonna see if this holds in for 3 weeks. If this works, we're just going to have to find another strategy to get the abandoned buildings. I know one way to do it. So, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You see the populations, we lost nearly 20,000. But I think hopefully we're going to pull this off. Come on guys, let's just have a quick check to see what the health. So we're running at 16% at the moment. So and I think pretty sure soon we're going to start getting a whole barrage of abandoned buildings. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. In fact, what I might do is let it run, because we've got 6 million, we're down to 43,000. There's lots of sick people. Oh boy, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we are, we've got Lazarus things, and now you can see there's a whole raft of abandoned buildings starting to develop now. So what I'm going to do is just keep it going for the moment. We're going to switch on these now. The 2 hospitals back on again. If we can, and got 211. I'm just going to keep people going sick. We're down to 34,000 people. I think that's where I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead, because I've got a feeling the city's going. Oops. Just gonna got to be in the dark, isn't it? Gonna destroy that, and then, and of course, we're gonna have pollution here. So what we're gonna do is pick up one of these, move it over here, and just connect it in. And the city is imploding quite badly, but I think we're going to survive. We're down to 28,000, but what should happen is now we're going to bump the budget back up. And that should help. And of course we're going to put the taxes back up again because we've got to recoup our losses. It'd be nice if you could type that in, but so we've now got a death wave. So it looks like we've managed to cure the illness, but we've now got a massive death wave. Let's just have a look at the situation. Education, don't want that. Health, death care. You can see the crematoriums as pretty much overloaded, but I think we can just run with this. And of course, I'm still gonna kind of see how we go here. We've got 843, so we're still getting. We might get the numbers of abandoned buildings. Come on, guys. This is tense. This is tense. You can see the population is just kind of hanging in there. So as it builds back up again, obviously we're losing money. I don't know if this has to be for so many weeks or whether it's just going to be a straight total. Oh, we've got to maintain it for 5 weeks. Ooh. So this is going to have to maintain this one for 5 weeks. So was the other one? It's up here, I think, wasn't it? Got 1,000. I'm just going to let it run, guys. If the city completely bombs and dies, as I say, we're down to 28,000. It's going to be very, very close. So you can see the number of abandoned buildings, and of course it accrues, is in the sense that as you get more and more abandoned buildings. Actually, let's try something. Let's go the opposite way now. See if we can make people even more unhappy. That's 10,700. I think this one is 5 weeks. Anyway, this is where I'm going to stop again. So, see you in a little while, guys, and see if I'm actually going to have anything left of my city by the time I've finished. Right, welcome back again. We've now 1 week away from getting that building, and we are getting very, very close to getting the cathedral. You can see the population seems to have stabilized about 28,000. You can see a very rare symbol here, where people are complaining about taxes. So we're going to be very, very close. And my poor city's dying. There we are. We've got the observatory. So what we're going to do now is just come up here, and got 300 more buildings to go. And let's see if we can get this in. I think the buildings are kind of dying. So maybe I should have did this. I think if you do it as a small city, the small city will just crash. I think what I'm actually doing at the moment is I think I've got enough growth, because at the moment the city's kind of growing, but at the same time the number of abandoned buildings is growing as well. So the population seems to be stable around 30,000, but the number of abandoned buildings, especially in this area here, is kind of just hanging in there. Sewage treatment, of course, as the city shrinks, the amount of resources I need to run the city are right off the top here, incinerator status and things like that. I mean, I could probably switch off the power, but we're only losing 61,000 a week at the moment, so I think we can afford to just hang in there. Right, so what I'm going to do is once we pass 2,000 I'll stop recording again, and because I'm sure it's going to have to be like 5 weeks, and obviously we're going to have to stay here for how many weeks it says it's going to have to be. Nearly there. Come on guys, come on. We're holding, the population's starting to fall now, so come on, you can do it. Come on. You can do it guys, you can do it. See how many weeks this is going to have to last. Come on. 3 more. Oh. Don't do this to me, guys. Don't do this to me. Right, we're going to now maintain it for 4 weeks. So what I'm going to do, guys, is we'll see you in a little while. Welcome back. You can see my city is completely bombed, and I'm going to pause it now while I actually do some adjustments, because I'm actually going bankrupt. So I'm gonna do this, and you can see the city is totally devastated, and we've got right down to 5,000 people. We're losing 138,000 credits a time, and oops, obviously I've got a power shortage now, and of course the problem I'm going to get now is as people move out, I'm going to lose the links to various parts of the city. So as you can see here, we've got power shortages coming in here, so I'm going to have to switch the power station back on, and we're just going to have to try and get the city growing again, making money. And what I'm going to do is start turning off some of these very expensive mall special buildings to try and so I'm going to keep doing that just to try and turn this economy round. And of course we're going to demolish the buildings, start kind of cleaning up this area, encouraging people to move back in again. I know there's a mod for this, guys. Which I think I will probably have to use, so I'm just going to pause the game there, and I think that's going to be the end of this part, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been interesting. I've now unlocked all the 3. Got this. Most of the remaining distinct buildings are actually quite positive. So I can't remember the other one here. We've got the observatory to place. I think it's the the one that we're really after, the lazarette. So this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you found it useful in the sense of the risk you run and the damage you can do to the city. I've probably got a couple of days of, or a lot of time going through, and as I say, I will probably enable the destroy things, because you can see now my power situation is getting a bit desperate as well, because this whole area now has decayed completely. I'm going to get power shortages everywhere. So what I'm probably going to do first, before I even switch the game back on again, is I will delete all the demolish all the, because I don't think these buildings actually carry power. No. Let's just have a quick check. No. So abandoned buildings don't transmit power. So I've got a problem there straight away. You can see, quite literally see the sheer level of. Just gonna check my taxes. 10%, 10%. Got 17% on industry. Gonna drop that back down. Everything else is quite low. So that is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you found it useful, and I will see you once the city's back up and running and looking healthy again. So on that note, like and subscribe, and hope you've enjoyed the episode. For what it's worth, it's probably not a good thing to do. So on that note, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.